Good morning, great morning, wonderful morning, spectacular morning, outstanding morning, magnificent morning, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious morning. Yes, again, the beautiful reminder that we get to choose. See, I used those words intentionally to help to not only remind myself, but to remind you that we get to give meaning to everything. In this particular case, it happens to be morning where I am. Maybe it's that way where you are. But with that, I'm describing it using adjectives, right? Good morning, great morning, all of that to point out something. And that is that everything is fundamentally meaning. See, in terms of the time right now where you are with whatever you're going through, the truth of the matter is it just is. It's neither good nor bad. It's your thinking that makes it so. It's what you're deciding it to be. And what's so beautiful is you get to lead yourself onto a frequency using whatever description you want. Now, some people might say that that's crazy, that that's illusionary, but it's interesting. It is, but not in the way that people think. Remember, it always starts in the mind first before it becomes the material thing. Thought externalizes itself. See, when you have control over what's happening in your mind, meaning what you're imagining, your perspective or perception, whichever one you want to use, see, that's what leads to the wonderful vibratory state. And that vibratory state is what leads to attraction. Remember, attraction is dependent on vibration. And again, why is that so important to get? Well, because it has everything to do with the outcomes in your life and what you would love to happen in your life. Remember, you're the one that's in charge of your inner world. You're the one that gets to accept, reject ideas, right? Think about it. You're the one who gets to consent to things or not consent to things as they are. And what's beautiful is whatever that decision is, whatever you decide, and hopefully it's not a decision based from what the paradigm is, hopefully it's conscious thinking. Okay. But whatever that is, that's where you're going to go. That's what's going to come to you. Now, think about how important that is for you when it comes to you achieving your goals. Okay, you should have this magnificent goal card. And now, with regards to this card, do not underestimate the power of this idea being written on a card. But with that being said, yes, there is power in it, but only if you make it important. See, here we go again. See, it's not about the card, it's about the meaning that you're giving it. And Bob Proctor would frequently say, if you write it on a card, it must happen. Now, what was he referring to? He wasn't referring to like you just writing it on the card. He was referring to you being emotionally involved with the idea, with you loving the idea. Now, again, think about that. See, it all ties into what I shared with you in the beginning of this call. It's the meaning that you give, whatever it is that is the attractive force in your life. You want this, whatever this is, to be a material fact in your life, then make it important. Use incredible adjectives to describe this and fall in love with it. That's what we learn here in studying this, the master key system. And by the way, yesterday's call, there was a technical difficulty with the call and the recording didn't come out. So we're going to be going over what we went over yesterday again so that we have it recorded. But with this being said, that's what's being shared here in the Master Key System, of which is an incredible volume of wisdom. But now remember, in terms of the knowledge in here, the information, remember, knowledge, information is not power. The only way it becomes power is when you use it. So you've got to apply it. Application, baby, that's where it's at. And this is what we're hoping for you. This is why we go over these things again and again and again. This is why we have our facilitations for thinking drills to help you to implement these things because we want you to get this. We don't want you to know this. We don't care about what you know. And you should neither. What you should care about is what you understand. You should be living your life as King Solomon. And what does he say? He says, in all thy getting, get understanding, not in all thy getting, get knowledge. And boy, that's another little realm there, of which the personal development world has unintentionally done, which has done a huge disservice. Yes, it's really cool that they brought people into the world of, hey, they can develop themselves, but they've created a culture of information gatherers, and maybe that's you. Maybe you've been locked into that realm of gathering information, then nothing's happening. Why? Because you're just gathering the information, so you've got to use it. You must apply it. And through the application, the change happens in exact accordance to the changes that you've made inside. And again, this is what we are desiring for you. All right, so let's go into this, shall we? Let's go into where we were yesterday and lock into this beautiful, beautiful book. And here it is in terms of, oops, wrong word, wrong phrase here. Okay, there we go. I had the wrong one up there. Part 14. Now, here we're on page 238. And if you would like an exact copy of this and read along with us, then go to Amazon and get this one with this cover, because that's the one we're reading directly from, which is the one that we've put together. And if you want to link for that, then just check in the link in the bio and then click on that and it'll lead you directly there. Now, this part explains the source of all power, wisdom, and intelligence, and how we may bring it into harmonious relations in our affairs, into what we are experiencing in life. Okay? And as a reminder, where is that power? The power is inside. It's always going to be inside. It's going to be in you. It shows that those who understand the principle get results in exact accordance with their understanding and their ability to make the proper application. You know, Bob Proctor would frequently say it's all about awareness. The awareness that you have determines what you see. And what is your awareness? What is your consciousness? It's what you believe. It's how you're thinking. And this part explains that, which will help you, provided you go into what's called engagement with the information. Remember, it's the use of the information that delivers the change, not the gathering of it, not the collecting of it, not saying I know it, not saying, oh, I've memorized it. And that's another big thing too, by the way, because a lot of people think, oh, if I memorize this, it'll help me. It's not true. If you memorize it with intention to internalize it, yes, that's when it will help you. You know, that's how really great actors deliver great performances. Yes, they do memorize the lines, but they assume the identity of the character who's saying those lines. They become it and therefore deliver what we love. You know, there's a beautiful question. I know this is a little off subject, but it's really kind of cool when you think about it. When you think of actors, what are the really great actors? Who are the really great actors we love? And you know what's interesting? It's the ones who don't act. Have you ever noticed it? The actors that we love, they're not acting. They embody the character. You can tell the ones that we don't love because they're trying. But I want you to think about the characters that you love. They embody that. And what's really cool is this is really not really off subject, but it is kind of beautifully related to this because that's what you've got to do for you if you want to accomplish whatever's written here. You've got to become this person who does this, which is why the gold card's important because when you embody the idea, what starts to take shape are the characteristics of the character which delivers the idea. The next thing you know is you're seeing the result. Now, here I want to also emphasize something else as well, and that's the phrase in exact accordance with their understanding and their ability to make the proper application. Always remember that the changes on the outside that happen will always be in direct proportion to the changes you've made inside. If you want big, beautiful changes to happen on the outside, guess where they've got to happen first? Inside. It's in your mind, or even better, in your heart. As you thinketh in your heart, so are you.